Thanks for listening. This is Brian Hurley from Business Performance Improvement. The podcast Lean Six Sigma Bursts are short lessons, comments, Q&A, and insights. If you have a question, send your question through the Anchor app, and we might feature you on a future episode. Or contact me at biz-pi.com.
I have a question, Brian.
Okay.
When you were talking about batch versus single piece flow, you talked about the system and the concept that the thinking that if I go fast, then the overall system will run faster, but that's not necessarily true. Can you give an example of when people thought, if I go fast, it'll go faster, and it didn't work, and what did end up working?
The main one is if I go in and I want to process some documents. Let's say my job is to go in and approve expenses that come through, and I have to sign off or approve these expense reports. Mm-hmm. And maybe it takes me what I feel like is a burden to go in there and log into the system and click around to get to the reports I'm supposed to review. And then I got to open each one up and look at it, and then I approve it, right? It feels like that effort up front takes a long time. And so I don't want to do that as often. And usually that's why people will batch, is they think that the setup time to get in and do the work is so long that they don't want to waste that time on just one. So they wait till it piles up to 2 or 3 or 5 or 10. But when you actually go in and time people on that, and they see that when they start doing in batches, sometimes they get confused of which one they're on, and they click on one and said, oh, I already reviewed that one. Or they go in and they get confused and said, I copied one down and copied the file down, but now I stored it in the wrong spot. And I thought it was the other one, and I accidentally approved that one. And that's not the one I wanted to approve. So when we do batching, we also get more things that we're trying to juggle. Gotcha. And so then I end up touching more those items multiple times. And if I just went in, did that one, closed it out, and finished it. And what it will do is it'll force you to say, why does it take me so long to log into that system? Why can't I get a shortcut? Or maybe I can find a little trick to navigate exactly to where I want to. Or maybe someone, when they send the file out, it can send a direct link to that file instead of me going to a main screen or something. So we want to put the emphasis on our improvement around why do I feel the need to batch, and get the setup time down. So I will feel like I just go in there, and whenever they come in, as they come in, I go in and improve them or review them. But that's why it's a little tricky, because we don't think about questioning the setup times. And that's really where the opportunity is at.
Gotcha. Thank you.
I just finished reading a book called Triumph of Classical Management over Lean Management. And I was just wondering what your thoughts are as far as management systems being a barrier to lean.
One thing off the top of my head I can think of about is we often try to drive down metrics to a department level or individual level. And what happens is it drives making my work better, but I actually cause problems in the process because I'm holding up the work to try to be efficient myself. And again, that's not the intent. So another example I'll give was I was working with someone at a finance group, and they send out a report to 30 managers. And I said, do you know, when I was talking to the managers, they all go into your report and then they create pivot tables on each of that. So you have 30 let's say not all of them were doing it. Like 15 of the managers were going in and creating a pivot table off of your raw data that you sent out. If you took an extra 5 minutes of your workday to create the pivot table for them and set it up nicely, you would save 15 times a couple minutes per person. You could save an hour or two worth of other people's time if you just took 5 minutes out of your time. And so you actually would go slower, but you are going to save the rest of the organization hours of time. And sometimes people don't see that as that is lean. It doesn't mean everyone's going to get faster time. It's going to mean the overall time will get faster. But that might mean you have to take on more work. And so I've seen that on the manager side is that we focus on the person's productivity. And so they're going to say, I don't want to waste that extra 5 minutes because that's going to slow me down and it's going to look bad on my metrics. But you're not seeing the impact of that decision on the whole organization. We should be focused on what's the best decision for the whole organization and for your customers. not for your personal result. So I guess I've seen that we get our goals and metrics too narrowly focused, and that causes not to be very lean. Or they like are fighting, well, I didn't make a mistake, so I'm going to protect myself and my team against getting blamed. And that's not helping us solve the problem or address the issue with that our customers are having. It's kind of like trying to avoid getting the blame, and that's not a good, healthy approach. There's others I'm sure I can think of, but that comes to the top of my head right now.
Thank you.
Want to better organize your work area or bring 5S methods into your organization? Check out the 5S guide from Creative Safety Supply. You also get 3 free bonuses. Bonus number 1, free 5S poster. Bonus number 2, free 5S PowerPoint. And bonus number 3, free 5S audit card. Go to lean6sigmaforgood.com/5S for the free downloads. They also provide floor tape markings, labels, signs, foam tool organizers, red tags, label printers, and other organization tools. Make sure you use code BPI at checkout to save 10%.